So what I'm doing now is trying to put a finish grade on our bedding layer. And this is a really important step because really whatever you get this to look like is kind of how your turf is going to be. So for us, we're doing kind of a lawn area, and so there can be some minor undulations in this. You're not really going to notice it. But if this was a putting green, we'd want to spend significantly more time in this step because we need to make sure the putting green is perfect so that we get a true roll on the ball. So you'll notice as I'm raking, it's not just pulling one direction. What I'm doing is I'm pulling through, I'm looking for high spots and looking for low spots. Then I'll change direction and move this material around so that I know everywhere I go if I've got a high spot or a low spot. The other thing is with this bender board in place, it's a nice guide for the rake. So you can actually put the edge of the rake on it and use it to kind of get your edge height just right around the perimeter of the turf area. So as we go through, it's a matter of pulling material off the high areas, spreading it down into the low areas. This is a slow and steady technique. The other thing, as far as an advantage goes, is a rake like this, which is a 3-foot wide rake. If you can get a 4-foot wide rake, it helps because the wider your rake, the more undulations you're gonna find, fill in the lower spots, and really become a much more accurate with the final grade in this scenario. So as soon as we finish this, we'll put one more compaction on it and we'll move on to installing the turf. So we've got the bedding layer completed and we're getting ready to install the turf, but I wanted to point out a couple of key things about the bedding layer. So when you look at it, we do have the center of this is the high spot. Everything is going to flow off in all directions. So we should have eliminated any drainage issues that could have possibly popped up. Another thing to look at is our final surface height with the bender board is flush so that when we do the turf install, we'll be able to bring the turf right over the top of it and it'll be flush with the stone on the outside. So as I've spent a significant amount of time taking care of all the high spots and the low spots, we've got a nice even surface throughout the whole area, and I think we're ready to go ahead and start installing the turf. For further information or any additional questions, please refer to the link and email listed below.